Good morning, everyone. I think we're ready to go now. Seems like we're getting a little bit tardy every time we get last minute items pop up, but we're good to go now. Appreciate everyone being here. We're welcome to another edition of Pulaski County Fiscal Court. Certainly see a lot of people here that's interested in county business, so appreciate you being here. We'll do a moment of silence. I've asked Mr. Magistrate Wilson here to do her pledge, but anyone have any concerns, prior requests, comments concerning any thoughts for the community?
Just remember Chris Gardner.
Chris Gardner, continue prayers for him. He is at home, back at work part-time, recuperating from a surgery. But
Jared Flynn with RECC, the lineman.
don't forget him.
Joe and Becky Taylor, Fire Chief of White Lily. Joe's going through some medical issue, and then I have a former neighbor of mine that contacted me about having some brain tumors and cancer stuff going on.
Anyone else? Just remember these people in your prayers. Certainly are needed. If everyone will please bow your head for a moment of silence, and then we'll do the pledge. Thank you. If everyone please stand, face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item of business this morning would be to approve the minutes of the July 8th fiscal court meeting. We have a copy in front of you. Is there any additions or deletions to that? Any changes to the minutes?
Motion.
Do I have a motion to accept? Mr. Wilson makes the motion to accept. Just have a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wheeldon. All in favor say aye.
Yeah.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Is there anyone here from the Small Business Administration? I don't see anyone. They may come in here. They were supposed to be here.
I think, Chris, or is that in regards to the deadline for the Small Business Administration?
It's that, and it's also just an overview of, again, what the, to get it on the camera, what they can still do for folks. And I've got an update on that deadline when it's my turn. You want me to make a phone call and see if I can find it?
See if you can find it, if they're still over at the center.
See what I can do about that.
We'll move on to the next item of business. There's a resolution for the county priority project funding. This is in reference to some stuff that we turned in about a year ago, 9 months ago, on our bad roads, the worst roads we had, and they were rated by the state transportation. And we were good enough to get two roads, Dye Road and Bower Road. You have the agreement. I just need a motion to pass the resolution to accept $317,000 in new paving on those two roads.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson.
Second.
Second by Mr. Ranshaw. Any discussion on that? I think you've got a three pages in front of you, maybe four, and then a resolution that has been signed. I've got the complete agreement in front of me, but I made abbreviation for you guys with 3 pages. But just a resolution to pass to accept that funding. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion passes. Thank you very much. We have received the MOA on that, Mike, so we're good to go.
Good deal. Thank you.
I want to bring up something that's not on the agenda. We are short one person for seasonal at the park and mowing, maintenance at the park. We moved one person from the park to another department, and I've got a shortage there on, the grass continues to grow. So I'd like to present today a guy that I interviewed yesterday, a young guy, Brian Smith Weddle is his name. We done an interview with him yesterday. He's ready to go to work pending his pre-employment check with the drug screen and some paperwork with Donita. So I present him to start mowing some parks, starting as soon as he gets his paperwork done. Could I have a motion to accept him? Or him?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Turpin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilden. Any comment on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion passes. I want to do, you ready for that special purpose?
Or you want to go back to the SBA thing?
I'm going to give him time to catch.
Okay, catch his breath.
Yeah. I want to bring up one other item that's not on the agenda, but Martin has been working on it, and he says he's got it ready. It's on the special purpose vehicles. I think he passed out the ordinance. We have to do a first reading and a second reading to get that passed for all-purpose vehicles on the roads, special purpose. Yeah, go ahead.
And it's, of course, this thing became law back on March 26th, and, or was passed, and then became effective June 27th. So it is in effect now, and it's, of course, the counties have to opt in if you want to do it, and understood from the judge that you guys were interested in drafting an ordinance that was pretty broad, and so that's what you've got in front of you. This ordinance would allow special purpose vehicles that comply with the requirements of the statute would be allowed to on highways that are located in the jurisdictional limits of Pulaski County. So basically all the roads in Pulaski County. Section 3 are the exceptions to that, and the main exception is highways that are controlled access highways like the Parkway. There wouldn't be allowed on that. So otherwise, and then any U.S. Department of Agriculture properties that prohibits these type of vehicles. So otherwise, as the judge said, if you want to have a second, or you want to have a first reading today and advertise it, then you can do that. And if you want to make any changes between now and the second reading, then you can do that. To get the first reading out of the way now.
On exceptions on that Parkway.
Mm-hmm.
So they can't run from 27 out towards,
Right, can't
but
be on
they
the
can run
Parkway.
27 out towards London.
27 to go
80.
80.
80 towards London, they can be on, but 80 towards Russell Springs, they can't be on. Is that right? Okay.
Are we putting a certain speed limit on that?
That's up to you guys. You can if you want to. That's going to be up to you all.
I mean, most roads already have posted speed limits.
Any comments? Where we want to go with this? Do we want to consider this a first reading? And
Yeah.
if we want to study it, and before the second reading, make any changes to it or additions to it?
Motion for the first read.
I have a motion for the first reading from Mr. Wilson and a second by somebody on this side, Mr. Strunk. Any comments or questions anymore on it? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Thanks, Martin. Now we'll back up to the first item of business, and that would be the Small Business Administration. Mr. Jim, can you present?
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate it, and sorry for being late.
No problem.
I went from City Hall over to the courthouse, so I'm kind of a lost soul this morning. But I appreciate the opportunity to be here to inform you all here at the court and the magistrates about the upcoming deadline for applying for disaster loans with the Small Business Administration Office of Disaster Recovery. So I'm a public affairs rep. Me and my colleagues are working closely with Chris over at the BRC. We're very appreciative of that opportunity to be at the BRC, at the Emergency Operations Center. We also recently moved over to the Disaster Recovery Center, which relocated to the library. So we are at the library 6 days a week. We're only now at the BRC 5 days a week, so we cut back our Saturday hours there. But we are here offering our business physical damage loans and home disaster loans to homeowners here in the county. A lot of folks don't know that the Small Business Administration helps homeowners and renters. And to date, we have offered 168 Kentuckians have applied for loans. We've offered 29 and we've disbursed 29 for more than 1.4 million, and we have offered 58 of those loans, and that's $8.3 million in loans offered. Now, again, when folks are offered a loan after they've done all their due diligence and completed all their paperwork, they have 21 days to make that decision to take the loan. And again, there's no fee to apply, there's no obligation to take that, so they have 21 days. If their situation changes during that time, they've got money from insurance or other sources, then they can decline that loan. But we have worked with the Chamber, we've worked with Chris, we've worked with a lot of your local businesses. The gentleman that you referred me to, we were able to get that person in and apply for an EIDL loan. I know that my colleague was out knocking on some doors in the county yesterday and able to establish communication to bring more folks in. In Pulaski County, 26 folks have applied. 8 of those are in progress. Now, we'd only offered 1, and that's as of the 13th. I don't have my first figures that I cited were as of last night, but by county, and I can get those for y'all by county. I just have to request them. I thought they were going to come into my inbox today, and they hadn't. But we just want to encourage everybody to come in. Don't wait for an insurance settlement. Come on into the center. Ask any questions that you have about a loan. A lot of folks are unsure they want to take on a loan, but again, it's very low interest. It's 2.8% for homeowners, 4% for businesses. They can undertake the process. Again, there's no obligation and there's no fee. And we encourage them to come on in, talk to our trained and experienced customer service reps, and have their questions answered, and see if we can help them. Again, it's in addition to what any other sources that they may have, to help them. So the deadline to apply happens to be tomorrow, the 23rd, but very likely we're going to have, we always do have a 60-day grace period. So if folks aren't able to get in by the 23rd, they do have 60 days to apply, at least online. We believe that we're going to have a presence here for at least that part of that 60 days. But again, that process is something that's a request that's made on the state side, and then once it filters down to us, we'll know. And then we'll be putting out press on that, on the fact that, we would be extending.
Okay. Any questions?
Do you have any questions?
And also there's a 1-year grace period on payment on a loan, is that?
Oh, yeah, very good question, Mark. Yes, there is. Anyone, once they do get their loan dispersed to them, they have 1 year that's interest-free, and they don't have to start paying it back till month 13. So it's deferred for that entire first year, interest-free. So in essence, it's free money for a year. They can use those funds, say if they wanted to pay off a higher interest rate credit card bill, if they wanted to, again, make an arrangement with their loan officer. One arrangement they will have to make if they get insurance is to, agree to take those insurance proceeds and apply that to the loan early on. So, but yes, it is deferred interest-free for that first year.
And when's the deadline again?
The deadline is tomorrow, the 23rd. Initially, it was the 22nd. It was we had put out paperwork that it was the 22nd, but the FEMA deadline and our deadline is always 2 months out from the incident date that's on the fact sheets that we distribute. So that just happens to be tomorrow. But again, very likely we're going to be here for a bit. you all had a lot of damage, and folks, don't want to come right in, right away. They've got other issues to take care of. But we're here to help. We will be here even after the fact, reaching out to stakeholders and other groups as part of our whole of community, so we can really help folks once we don't have a presence. And that's another initiative that we have. It's our whole of community to work with all of the stakeholders, United Way and anyone that could help folks, any of the VOEDs here in the state, so we can really provide a thorough package to help folks.
Jim, you want to talk a little bit about the BRC as well? Because a lot of folks, I don't think, realize that there's a fully staffed the Business Recovery Center sitting out in my building.
Right.
And for those folks that don't want to necessarily come in and discuss their business in the open forum of the DRC, they can go to the BRC and be able to close the door, have a meeting with the with an individual counselor there.
Right.
And then that remains.
Yeah, and that's a good point. So we worked early on. I think it was at the request with the chamber and with you, Chris, to set up that center over there. So we do have customer service reps. They got separate offices, like Chris said. They can close the door, go on in there and ask any questions that they have. And then the hours there, again, are Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. 9 to 6. We have 2 customer service reps there. And that's down on Jesse Lane in the Emergency Operations Center. And that's in addition to the Disaster Recovery Center, where we're side by side with FEMA, Red Cross, and any other organization that can help some folks. So the DRC is more of a fully functional. The BRC is something that we put together and open the doors with folks that know how to work with businesses, have experience working with businesses, and that's how we made this happen, and we're appreciative that we were able to do that.
What number can they reach you at after tomorrow?
We've got our 800 number where they can get more information is 800-659-2955. That's 800-659-2955. They can go online. They can put in their applications online at lending.sba.gov, and they could email us at disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. The advantage of applying applying online and also when they come into the center, used to be you had to bring in all kinds of paperwork and documentation and pictures, which you may need down the line once you talk with your loan officer. But to get your application started, all you need is positive identification, which you're gonna start with when you go online. So the materials that we've passed out and that we've got up on the social media here in the county, there's a QR code they can shoot to get to that website, that lending.sba.gov. That's our portal, and when they go in there, they'll put in Kentucky and put in Pulaski County and put in the dates of their incident, and then all of the documentation related to this disaster will come up, and it'll be right at their fingertips.
Any more questions? Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you again, and apologies for being late.
No problem. We'll move on to department reports. First up would be our jailer Anthony.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, unfortunately, it's bad news today. It's not any good news. We'll start out with the bad news first. The first one is, if y'all remember back sometime, I think it was almost a year ago, we had a fire in our laundry room, and one of the dryers was completely destroyed, and the other one was just working just enough where we've been able to operate with just one dryer, but it's on about done as far as it's working. We've been having a hard time finding the dryers, I think because they are natural gas heating dryers. We have finally been able to locate 2 down in Tennessee. I think the price list I gave you included sales tax and shipping fee, but we've got those taken care of. The actual price now is going to be $15,467.25. Whenever we turn the claim into the insurance, insurance has already reimbursed us $14,578 for the old units. So I would like your all's permission to use the insurance money and go ahead and purchase these other 2 units.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Weldon and a second by Mr. Wilson. Any questions on this?
Okay. You're buying 2 units?
2 units.
Okay. So the total for both units was 14,000, right?
No, total for 2 units is $15,467.25. The insurance has paid us for 2 units $14,578.
And we're going to cover the rest, or
That's up to,
is your fund going to cover the rest?
that will be left up to you all and the county treasurer how the remaining funds are dispersed.
Sounds to me like we're getting new dryers for $1,000.
2 dryers for $1,000.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes.
The next bad news is we've had a 10-ton rooftop AC unit to go out at the jail, which was covers our kitchen. Needless to say, with the temperatures we've been having, it's been out for about 2 weeks. We've been having to use big fans. This temperature in there is still quite hot. At first, we thought that it was going to cost over $20,000 for our estimates to get a new unit, because we're going to have to get a crane, take the old unit off, put another unit back on. But Charles, my maintenance guy, was able to find one. It's brand new. It has a limited warranty on it. It was ordered wrong for another place. It's been setting, and it's still functional. It's they've done checked it out. It's got a limited 6 months warranty on it, but its price is going to only be $8,000. Instead of having someone to install it, Charles is going to install it himself, which is going to save us on labor cost. So I'd like for your all's permission to order this other unit.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Strunk to take on the HVAC repair at the jail.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilson. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
Thank you. That's all I've got.
Thanks, Jailer.
Thank you.
Next up is our Emergency Management Director, Mr. Chris Mason.
All right, good morning. So, I'm not here to ask for any money. I'm actually here to tell you how much money's been paid out. So you guys will like this. As of 7/20, we've had a total of 461 registrations within the county. That's going through FEMA. Those are FEMA registrations. The IHP, or Individual and Household Needs Program, has paid out $752,334. The HA, which is housing assistance, has paid out $359,766. And the ONA, which is other needs assistance, has paid out $392,568. So grand total of about $1.5 million has come into this county through FEMA since the disaster, since the Guardian disaster was declared. And I think it's important to note that because FEMA has that reputation of not being easy to work with or not being able to get stuff done. And I would argue that the numbers that I've got in front of me this morning say that it gets done, and they've been getting the job done. As to the extension date, or the date that Mr. Acosta mentioned, that's also going to apply to FEMA. The last official date is tomorrow. It is July 23rd. But I went over and had a conversation with them yesterday, and they are not planning on pulling out tomorrow. They're actually planning on staying for at least another 25 to 30 days. It's going to kind of come down to what we as a county, me as the manager, and then my conversations with you folks, how much longer we actually need them in county. But right now, they're getting a steady flow over there. Between 5 to 7 people per day are still going in. So my recommendation is going to be that they go ahead and stay up until a point in time where the flow shuts off and we clearly don't need them anymore. They're still in the process of closing out several other disasters that happened prior to this one, and so they're not in any great big hurry to get out of here until they get those other disasters closed out. There are some disaster recovery centers around the state that are closing, but right now we're not on that list. With that said, the official date being the 23rd, I fully expect sometime next 24 hours to get a formal extension beyond that date of the 23rd, but regardless of whether we get it or not, people can still go in and file. As long as that center is there, they're not going to turn anybody away. So do keep this. So the residents of the county do need to know that if they have yet not made up their mind, or if they're in the middle, more specifically, if they're in the middle of something, they're not going to lose access. They're going to be able to continue to go in there and start their process and do the things that they need to do. Okay. So, any questions for me on that or what FEMA's doing?
This 1.5 has been distributed to individuals, right? Nothing's, the county portion of reimbursement has not happened yet.
That has
It
not
won't
happened
happen
yet.
for a long time.
No, we are. So I check a report. I get a report every morning that talks to me about what's going on within the disaster community, especially pertaining to FEMA directly. I have not seen anything on there that indicates that our request for public assistance has even been dealt with yet. So I take that as a positive. It's not been rejected and under appeal. It's literally just not been dealt with yet. So, and I understand that we are in the process right now of conversations with our congressional representation to say, what's the status here? What are we doing? Where are we going with this? And we're like us, Laurel County, Russell County are all in that same boat, just waiting to see what's going to happen with the 4875 declaration, which is what we're sitting on as far as what we're doing.
And
right now.
then how are we doing with getting the paperwork turned in for the flooding events?
Right now, every department has gotten back in touch with me and told me that they are working on that. I was out at the debris pile last Friday, and they've got a really healthy stack of paperwork that's showing that we are tracking what is coming in, so that ultimately, if we do get that PA declaration, we should be in good shape to be able to make a good claim as far as.
I'm talking about the past flooding events.
Okay. Oh, you're asking me about 4860. So 4860, I had a meeting with them last Wednesday. We've got 2 projects completely completed, and they're at the Cost Recovery Center now, the CRC. It'll go to them. They'll evaluate. They'll kick it back to our program delivery manager. If there's any issues, she'll contact me, and we'll make any modifications. But beyond that, right now, so we've got at least 2 projects that are completely out, and they're the 2 biggest projects as far as money. One is worth just over $300,000. The other one is $285 and change, if I remember my numbers correctly. The rest of the projects are all they're all still in the queue. That money is going to happen. It's largely going to be a question of what I've basically been told, and it's a very good adage, is that FEMA will trade paper for money. And as long as we can give them all the paper that they need to verify we've been spending, gravel and patch oil and tar and whatever we've been spending to get our roads back in shape, we shouldn't have any trouble recovering that money.
It just takes time to get the
Just
road
takes
back
time.
in shape.
Us in Texas and New Mexico and California and Virginia and pick a state right now, and I think there's declared disasters in 20-some states right now. So we're on that list, is what I would tell you. Anything else?
Chris,
Sir.
in reference to the public assistance declaration, I am in contact with Congressman Rogers quite frequently, and also Congressman Andy Barr.
Yes, sir.
Their offices, I'm talking to them about pushing that forward at the national level, federal level, try to get President Trump to get that signed. Because right now, the county is in about $3 million hole in deficit right now on storm recovery, so we need that desperately bad. So if anyone else can contact those offices with McConnell or Rand Paul, either one, to push that through, because it's
I would
badly
absolutely
needed in our county and Laurel County for sure.
I would absolutely concur with that, sir. As I said, I went out there and did an estimate on the pile. myself and Mr. Maston, we kind of got a pretty good idea on what it looks like, and it's not getting any smaller, I can tell you that.
Yeah, do we have, speaking about that pile, what's the, going forward, what's going on with the compost center? I had somebody ask me about that last week, and they still bring stuff over there.
It's still open. If
we have
it's
a deadline?
storm related, we're still accepting it.
Do we have a
If
deadline?
it's not storm related,
We
we're
do not.
charging for it.
We do not have a deadline on that
No
right now.
deadline, okay.
No.
No. The only thing I will caution, again, and I know I've said it before, but it bears repeating, we cannot take on business waste. We can't, in other words, if you've lost a business, and I think most of that's probably well been cleaned up. But if you're still out there dealing with, your personal, your home or anything along those lines, then that material is still eligible to be turned in.
So, but a business can't bring their waste
No,
there now?
because the understanding there is that businesses typically are supposed to have insurance, and their insurance carriers are supposed to be dealing with that.
Any other questions? You have another item? Are you ready to present?
Do we want to talk about the EMAC? Are we going to deal with that now?
Our county attorney has.
I think we've got the
Give us the okay.
resolution ready, so.
Okay, so in front of you folks, you have what is basically a resolution from the state requesting that Pulaski County join what is effectively an emergency management assistance compact. What that would allow is, in the event that another county were to get into some of the same issues that we had, tornadoes, floods, whatever it is that they come across, and we were not directly impacted, they would then reach out to us and say, can you spare your emergency manager? Can you spare equipment? Can you spare supplies and things along those lines? And they would then, in turn, would do the same for us. And I can tell you that with our last incident, we definitely got some help. I had folks up here from McCreary County that stood in my EOC for several days. I had folks from Cumberland County that stood in my EOC for several days. Garrett County was here for several days. We had law enforcement down here from multiple counties. They were helping to protect the area that was damaged with our folks that were were already well overtaxed, and so we were able to tap on those statewide resources. I would strongly recommend that we join this. It doesn't really change the way we would do things anyway. I personally went to Frankfurt in late January, early February to assist up at the State Emergency Operations Center, A, to learn how it worked, but B, because they needed our help. And it's always good to reach out and help your neighbor, and when they need help, you go help them, and then when you need it, they'll come and help you as well. The state is really pushing this. They really feel like it's something that we should do. I don't anticipate that it would be a large or a huge burden on us as an organization or as a county. If it's my presence in another county for a week or 10 days, we go ahead and we take care of that. It can be done.
So this eliminates the interlocal agreements? It's just one statewide agreement now?
This just covers within the confines of emergency management. So this allows this
Just
allows
the management side?
Yeah,
So we still have to have interlocal agreements with like Loyal County, like
they're working
Lincoln County, like Russell County, that we help them out individually?
Correct. That's still within your purview. That's still within your
that's-
purview. This is simply something that came down from out of the Kentucky Department of Emergency Management.
Now, we don't have a copy of that ordinance or that resolution.
Should have.
I didn't know it didn't get sent out, but I can read the resolution. Short and sweet.
Okay.
It's be it resolved by the Fiscal Court of Pulaski County that the statewide emergency management mutual aid and assistance agreements hereby approved and adopted. And you have to name a primary representative, which would probably be the judge or Chris, and then an alternate representative, which would probably be the other person, are hereby authorized to execute the agreement and to request, offer, and otherwise provide aid and assistance under the terms of the agreement for and on behalf of Pulaski Fiscal Court, the public entity established under the laws of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and for the purpose of entering into the agreement and thereby become a party to the Emergency Management Mutual Aid and Assistance Agreement. And it's got signature for it. Who makes the motion, who seconds the motion, and that the date it's passed and approved on, and certification by the clerk. And that's the long and the short of it. And then the agreement, I think, Chris, you sent that to me.
I did, and I also gave a copy to the judge, but it was my fault on that, folks. I got it to the judge late yesterday, so I'll take responsibility for that. We didn't necessarily.
So are you saying, you're saying, let me get this straight, you're saying that it's for the emergency management portion of an emergency?
Correct.
So, and you mentioned about equipment.
Well, I mean, equipment would be my truck. Or if I
Just
had-
for your office
Yeah, if I had
equipment, your
computers
office
down,
equipment.
if I have computers down there, things along those lines, anything I could take out of our EOC that would be useful in another community
Okay.
while we were
But as
responding.
far as us being in agreement with other counties for them to come with their trucks, their backhoes, and us to go there.
That's a different set of agreements.
That has to be done in a different set of interlocal agreements,
Yes, sir.
correct?
That is
Okay.
correct.
And do we have those?
That would not be my bailiwick, sir. We'd have to have a different conversation on that one.
Okay. Because I think we need them.
If we don't have them, it's something I think we can work on.
Yeah.
But I would want to work with with the folks at County Road and with the judge and
Yes.
with you folks at the magistrate level to make
But
sure
I
that
didn't know if we
work.
already had those agreements in place. If not, we probably need to have those agreements in place,
I would agree.
especially. I think we were, to be honest, I think we were lucky that it wasn't a bigger disaster than it could have been. And
agree.
having those agreements in place would definitely help us out if we needed a lot more
Do
stuff
keep-
from other counties.
Do keep in mind, when you do things like that, however, that the way this agreement is structured, I would continue to be paid by the county. I'm not being paid by the county I'm working in, I'm being paid by the county I work for, with the understanding that when FEMA turns their money, or when the state turns money over, they would then turn around and reimburse the county back for my time and my efforts. And I feel like any interlocal agreement, you're probably gonna run into the same thing.
Well, I know, but it needs to be looked into to have those agreements in place.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just a point of order.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
What's the pleasure of the body if we want to pass this resolution?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Strunk and a second by Mr. Renshaw. Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Thank you. Thanks, Martin.
Can you get a copy of that when you get a chance? You can email it.
Yeah. I'll leave the resolution with, well, you guys will need to fill in the primary and the alternate representatives, however you want that to be.
Okay.
You, Chris. So I'll leave that with you.
All right. Next item of business will be the road department. Wayne?
Does,
Morning.
Morning, Wayne.
I'd like to ask for 1,500 tons of hot mix.
Motion by Mr. Wilson and a second by everyone. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
I'd like to ask for the okay on the road list.
Motion.
Mark got any speed limits on there? I can't check.
No, no speed limits.
Second. Who made the motion? Who made the motion?
I did.
Mark makes the motion. Mr. Strunk seconds. All in favor of the road list motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Wayne. Next item would be finance report. Our treasurer, Ms. Carissa.
I'm looking for approval of the June bank recs.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranshaw on the bank recs. Do we have a second?
second?
Second by Mr. Strunk. Any questions on the bank recs? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes.
And then I also have the 2025 treasurer settlement that I need approval for. There is a typo on the front page. It says July 2025 through June 30th of 2025, so that should be 2024 through 2025.
Motion by Mr. Wilden to accept the
Second.
treasurer's report. Second by Mr. Ranshaw. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
About
Does anyone else have any business to come before this body? Do we have any citizens' comments that anybody wants to reply to today? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Add one thing. We also offer mitigation coverage to anyone that does take a loan. So they have up to 2 years, if they make improvements to their property to keep a future disaster from happening, they can get up to 20% of the damages in an additional amount tacked onto their loan for mitigation. So that's something that we've been offering the last couple of years, so that's also out there.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I would add to that, the state of Florida learned that there are certain ways you can build houses, and there are certain ways you ought not build, and Kentucky is starting to get into that as well now. So if you have an opportunity to reset your property, rebuild your house, knowing that you're gonna have future storms, strongly recommend you do that, because we are going to see this activity again.
And it does include we do include relocation. This will all be spelled out when they come in, but there is a relocation, there is a refinancing option. So all of that's on the table, you know, I mean, because as a result of all the disasters we've been having, you know, we're going to have to move forward from the point we are now, so we're not going to go back, so we're here to help.
Thank you. Any other comments? If not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Renshaw. All in favor, say aye. We will stand adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, I will bet you don't.